Okay, here we were talking, Kuf Samachalef, we were talking about different Chatzitzas, and we got up to the Ramah that says, the first Machaber, if a person has a Chatzitza that you're not makbid on the Chatzitza, you don't have to worry about it and take it off. And this is something which is quite common. People have Chatzitzas that are not makbid. I'll just give you an example. Yesterday, about 10:30 at night, I got a phone call from the mikveh. A lady had a art line stain on her finger, and she couldn't get it off. So I asked the Balanit, is the one who called me. I asked, how big was it, and how much, was it this big? How obvious it was, and how dark was it? Obviously you wash it, it gets off. And it became clear to me that it was at a level that you're not makbid. So I said it's okay. Now you could have those kind of things all the time. People have chatzitzas on there. They write and they have ink on their fingers. I don't think people, if you had to go someplace, would you bother washing your hands off if you had ink on your fingers from writing? Maybe, okay, all right, so then that would be called Eino Makbid. Okay, Mishum Hachi lo inagu lenakar atit shetachas atzipornayim lenetila Mishum dehavi mir sheino Makbid. People who have dirt under their nails, people don't clean out the dirt under their nails before they wash for Hamaitzi. Why? Because you're not Makbid about that. Ki ei Makbid al zel lenetila. Okay. Avalim haya Makbid. If you okay, there are those who say there's no such thing as a chatzitza for netila. And if you're makbid, you have to be worried about it. Okay. Mishnah Berurah, Sifkat Vav. Din zakoi al reshasif etzem din chatzitza. Dim nimsa shum davar choitzes al miyat hayad. If you have a chatzitza, ve'ein makbid olav ein lochush. You don't have to worry about it. The das atur the av be'eler shezachar al mechaber mikoidim hu mi'advam shedakan shol b'nei adam mahakbid mikom makom hu ein makbid ein choitzes. Al das Rabbi Avrohom v'shayach choidim the kol shenitzim mechaber lo azinu basrei and basrei be'adam. If most people are makbid, even though you're not makbid, it doesn't make a difference. Miyuta she'eino makbid v'merov yad mechusa dahainu roiv mokom anatila afa pi she'ein makbid choitzes. Hatit I Rabbi Avrohom shepirish dekoy al keneged habasar what's adjacent to the basar. Afilu titayavon vayotz mishum dekela medinos ein makbid rasav avimir she'eino makbid. Even if it's thick mud, people aren't worried about it. Avos shaloi keneged habasar vali ro b'nei adam makbidim. Afilu b'tzoya even tzoya v'choitzes av shem eino makbid. Ukedvar v'tika Rabbi Avrohom b'derech hayim v'yesh mekilim b'tzoya b'stam tit even if it's shaloi keneged habasar.
If it's not keneged basar, then where is it?
You have long nails.
Oh, right, under the nails.
Okay, makbid hu mashma da'afa pi sheroiv eno makbidim kiven to makbid azinin basrei and it's choitzitz mikol makom nira hanu davka betit hayotzu or tit hayovesh. I will tit lach or offer shetachas atziporin keneged habasar shenu nidba kol kach ein lahachmer uprat kol hayom ein dar kol lahachmer rakesh shemagia linetila. People aren't worried about these things the rest of the time, so you don't have to have a special makbid parsha when it comes to netila. I would just like to share with you from the fascinating halachos in Hilchos Chatzitza, which there is a very big machlokes about. This, the shiloh where it's the most nageya is people who have dissolving stitches. Okay, so Rashi says that a chatzitza is defined by something that you take off. Let's say you have something that you don't take off. So Rashi makes it sound like that it should be a chatzitza. But the dissolving stitches, the reason you don't take them off is because Hashem does it for you. not because you don't take them off. The svara of chatzitza is not dependent on the action of taking them off. It's the subject, do you want it there or not?
What's the difference in the scab? Scab puts it there.
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'll just tell you what the Chazon Ish says. Your scab is your temporary skin.
It's a natural band-aid.
Right? It's not, and therefore it's like, we consider it like skin.
It's not an external...
Right, it's part of your body, so to speak. Now, if it, I'm not going to get involved in how that exactly works out with many halachos, but that's the bottom line. But a scab, there are certain scabs that could actually be a chatzitza, and there are those that say that if a scab is going to fall off by itself, in certain situations, you can be mekel. Okay? Yeah.
When we say the general attitude toward constitutes on hands, if you don't feel like your hands are dirty, then it's nothing to wash it today.
I'm not sure. I don't those words. I don't feel like.
If you don't feel like you need to wash your hands, if
Doesn't bother you.
If you're just right, if you're just generally going about your business, you wouldn't think about it.
Well, generally wash your hands.
Let's speak about something that happens. You were painting, and a little bit of paint. You have a little bit of paint on your hand over here. Is that a chatzitza?
Go and try and wash it off.
Okay, but I'm right now in the middle of painting, and it's lunchtime.
No.
You agree? It's a chatzitza. It's not a chatzitza.
No, it's not. It's
One usually both taking it out. It's in the middle.
It doesn't bother you. Even before you paint. Let's say you go
I said in the middle of painting.
you would take it off. No?
There's things that would bother you if you're going to a wedding that wouldn't bother you if you're just staying home.
Okay, but let's talk about when you're staying home. Would this bother you or not?
What?
If I'm in the middle of painting,
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't bother me. That's a circumstance where it wouldn't bother me.
No.
Or other circumstances it would bother me.
No, if you're in the middle of painting, it also bothers you. You just don't take it off because it's going to come back on in a minute.
Right. You don't appreciate it when it's dirty.
You're makbid.
Yeah.
There are certain things that the fact that you're leaving it there is not because you're not makbid. And I'll just use this as an example. A person who has a cast. A cast is, nobody wants to have one, right? Okay, but you don't take it off because you just have to put it back on, right? So you just leave it on, right? That's what?
Putting a salt in.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's not called you're not makbid. You are makbid, but you live with the kpeda because, right? That's all. That doesn't make you not makbid. So you have to know when do you say what. That's. But the subject is there are things which are not a kpeda that you just happen to have them on you, and I would say, or just use a person who has a piece of nail around his nail, the skin around his nail that's peeling. There's no problem. I don't think you have to take that off when you're washing your hands. People aren't. Only people who are busy biting their nails, and they're busy in manicuring themselves are busy with that. Regular people, they just live with that. That's that's part of life. Okay, so that's called Eino Makbid. All right.
Should a person get into the habit of checking their hand before they wash it today?
What do you do? Why would you think that you have a chatzitza on your hands? You're not mechuyev to. I'll just share with you a fascinating piece of halacha. There's a kula from Rav Nissen Karelitz, which I am vehemently opposed to. And I don't think does no source for it. And I don't think there is a source. I don't even think he's right. Okay? He says that the halacha is that a person who goes to the mikveh, it's a chiyuv d'oraisa for them to examine themselves to see that they don't have a chatzitza on them. Now, to make that statement clear, what I just said, in order for chatzitza to be a chatzitza d'oraisa, it would have to be an roiv haguf, and you don't want it. I don't think it's possible. Right.
You're never gonna have
Also
that.
has to be a tefillah, right?
Okay, but you're never
It has
gonna
nothing
have
to do.
chatzitza over your body that you didn't.
Okay, I just say I have a case where I could, but it's not relevant, but the point, this is a question that the Achronim are busy with.
Okay, the pants falls on you.
Okay, and you don't know about it, right?
Right. You didn't stop.
Right, okay.
Oh, you're not 50, you know about it.
What they
Okay.
say is that you don't have a chiyuv d'oraisa, you know you're covered in something.
Now what he says is, and the assumption is, a person has to toivel, they have to make iyun, right? Why? Because maybe you have a chatzitza on you. The halacha,
It's like a negative. If it covers your whole body, then it's...
maybe. Anyways, Rav Nissen Karelitz says that if you buy a new kli, you do not have to check it for chatzitza before you toivel it. You could assume it's clean. I have absolutely no reason.
You have to check if there's a sticker.
It has the labels. They always have labels.
They do?
Yeah.
I don't think that that's true. It depends what you're buying. You could buy glasses, they come in a box, and there's not one sticker on any of them.
Sometimes there's one on each one.
Okay, sometimes.
And they're hard to get off.
Okay, sometimes. Okay, so if I bought a box of glasses and I bought 3 boxes, I checked one, there wasn't a sticker on them.
You have to check all the rest.
Do I have to check the rest or not?
You can presume
I could presume what?
if it's the same
Are those glasses cleaner than you right now?
clean as me, yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Some dust.
Dust is not a chatzitza on you or on them, right? Yeah. So why is it that you have to be checked and they don't? The glass doesn't.
Because if one box of 6 is sticker free, then there's no reason to presume the rest have.
I don't know if
I'm willing to say that there probably is nobody here in this room that has a chatzitza on them that would invalidate them to be toivel midaraisa.
if they miss something.
And still, everybody here in this room has a chiyuv d'oraisa to check before they go to the mikveh,
If
right?
I was in
If
a
they
box
miss something,
since the
can it be
last time I
curse?
took a shower, then I would be...
If they miss something, will it be curse?
Who took a shower? That glass never took a shower.
That's what's made in a kiln or whatever.
Okay, I want to tell you something. Not everything that's made in production is 100% clean.
That's true too.
If there's miss something in the chatzitza, will the tefillah will it be curse? If they miss something, is it possible? Not a robot. They miss something.
If it's not on regular goof, it's not going to be chorus.
It's not going to be curse.
Right. So this needs to be explained by just pointing out this idea that Rav Nissen says something. I don't think that he's right. He says that you don't have to check it. Now, I also agree that the chances that there'll be a chatzitza on there is highly unlikely. But I also think that for you to toivel, it's also highly unlikely. Okay? All right.
Meaning either
If there's a halacha that you need to check it, because right, because I understand the reason that you have to check it is because I have to know I had a good tefillah. This is like, I'll just tell you where I think that everybody would agree to this. I have an operating room in a hospital. Now the laws of the hospital are that you're not allowed to eat your lunch in the operating room. Okay? Do I have to check the operating room for chametz?
Yes.
Yeah. People have their things on their clothes.
I don't think you have to.
And people
I
eat
think the
there.
janitor was eating the bar, chocolate bar when they were.
I don't think you have to check. I don't think you have to check for chametz. I don't think so. Now, I own Angel's Bakery, and I cleaned it for chametz, and I checked it for chametz. Where do you think there's a higher possibility that I'm going to find chametz in Angel's Bakery that had a bedika, or in the operating theater that I didn't do a bedika. Okay, now I agree with you that is the statistical chance, but halachically it's not true. And I'll tell you why. Angel's Bakery is a makom shemachnisim by chametz, or oisim chametz, whatever you want to call it, and therefore you have to make a bedika. After you made a bedika, it's halachically deemed clean. Your operating theater is a makom she'ein machnisim by chametz. So the halacha is you're not mechuyev to make bedikas chametz there. You know why?
You didn't make a bedika, you don't know for sure. Because the assumption there isn't.
Right, the assumption is that there's nothing there. But it's not
As strong as
that there's a halacha telling you that it's clean, right?
Couldn't get a stempel.
Right. So which one is more kosher Pesach? Angel's Bakery. Now, which one has a higher chance of having chametz in it? Angel's Bakery. Okay. So I'm just okay. Now I believe that the halacha that you have to have iyun is being that there's a possibility of a bedika. You have to have a stempel that bevadai that the person was clean in order to taivel him. It's not because there's a statistical chance. It's because of statistical chance. We said you have to have, it's like bedikas chametz. You have to have.
We have to combat the possibility of the
right
by a checking.
Right. That's why you need to have a bedika. That's why you need to have iyun. If that's true, it's true by your glasses also. There's no difference. It could be. Everybody agrees that it's possible in both situations. And the halacha is that you need to take away the possibility. And if that's true, then both need to be checked. I check all the time. All right. Anyways, if somebody tells me they want to be samech on Nis and Krelitz, makasha. But I don't think that it's okay. If the person was a painter and his hands were full of paint, I lost my place. Even though it has pieces of paint on it. If he wasn't a painter and his hands had paint on them, okay? Now this is a fascinating halacha. Why is it that lach is not chaytzitz? There's a very big Chazon Ish on the subject, and he offers two explanations to this. According to some, the reason why lach is not chaytzitz is because water penetrates the lach. And according to others, lach is not chaytzitz because lach is not chaytzitz. You're not makbid on it. No, that's not called something that's on you that you care about. Right, that's not, lach is not, it's not chaytzitz because it's not chaytzitz. Not because the water can get through. Okay? There are many nafkaminas. Okay. V'chein noshim shedarkam litzvoi yedeim lenoi kayetze bezeh einois etzeva chaytzitz. Now I'm just going to share with you a fascinating halacha l'maisa. I've had this question many times, but the first time, I'll just tell you the first time, sometimes you machadish a psak because of something that happens, and it didn't change since then. Somebody called me up, and he said his wife dyes her hair, and they don't have any dye in the store. It's not coming till next week, and she has to go to the mikveh. Is there a problem for her to go without dyeing her hair? To the mikveh.
Without. After or
No, right now her hair needs to be dyed.
Okay.
So there's dye still on her hair. Does she have to take everything off, or could she tell you the way it is? So I asked the following question. I asked, why does your wife dye her hair? And I said there are two possible answers. Your wife wants to be blonde, black, red, green, I don't know, right? She wants to be what she isn't. Or
Doesn't want to be white.
or she doesn't want to be white. Which one is it? So he says to me, she doesn't want to be white. So I said, it's no problem. And I'll tell you why. A person who dyes their hair and then they need to dye it again, why is that? Because the fades or the growing new, and okay. A person who dyed their hair because they're turning gray, would they rather have whatever's left, or would they rather go back to square one?
A little gray.
Okay, right? Okay, so it's still working. It's just not working 100%. It's only working 70%, 30%, but nothing changed by the fact that now if she was blonde to black, that's a different story, right? But gray is this is sometimes you have to be imaginative to answer the question, because you have to really know what you're being asked. The person asks you one thing and really the question is totally different. Okay, so just leave you with that piece of information. Glidei makash al yodov imeno makbid alav eno chaitzim. If you have scabs and you're not makbid on them, they're not chaitzis. Now the Taz and Halachas neither discusses the Rishonim who they would have their wives remove them. I'm not going to get involved in all that. Gimel. Tzorich lahoser hatabas ve'al yodo b'shas netilas yadayim. You have to take off your rings. It says the Rama, afilu hu rafui. Even if the ring is loose and water will get underneath the ring.
The language is in male, it applies to females also.
We're going to see. Okay, I don't mind to wash my hands with my ring on. Since you take it off at other times when you don't want it to get ruined, so therefore it's called a Chatzitza, even though now I couldn't care less that it's on me. But it's not bottled to my goof, because there's going to be a time where I would take it off. Okay. The nagug sas lahakol imhu rafui, aval yesh lahachmer keinanu b'kiyim eze mikra rafui. People are not. It's not clear what's called rafui, and therefore we don't. We're not mekel. Okay. Now, just on the subject of rafui, I'll just tell you another fascinating question that I had, and this was Nageya, a lady who found popcorn in between her teeth, and she didn't eat popcorn since before. Okay, and she asked me, does she have to go back? So this was many years ago. This was probably about 30 years ago, this Shiloh, and I had 3 reasons to be mekel. But I'll just share with you the biggest chiddush in Mili D'Alma. If the Chatzitza was not takua bein hashinayim, okay, it'll be rafui and water could get through. So being that it's in the mouth, you don't need that water should get there, you just need that water can get there. So then it would be beseder. Now, if I'm going to ask this lady, was it rafui or was it takua, she's going to hang up the phone on me, right? There's no... Right? No, I know the answer as well as she does, right?
Probably.
There's no way she could answer that question.
I don't know if that's true.
No, but if she brushed her teeth before it's lost and it hasn't come out, then obviously it's not rough.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you what I asked her. I asked her the following question. Did you remove it with one finger or with 2 fingers? She said, I removed it with 1 finger. I said, if you did it with 1 finger, then it was roughly. Now, what I do have to tell you is that it could be that it was lodged in place, and then it moved. But that would already be a suffix chatzitza in Beis Hastorim, which are those that are makel on that. So that lady, she got a heter, even though this was, I called 3 different rabbanim before I gave her a heter to find out if they're maskim. Nobody was willing to sign on. All of them said they heard all of my reasons, and they all said they sound good to me, but nobody was willing to take the achrayas. So I took the achrayas myself. That's all.
Another lady called me about 10 o'clock by night. Happened to be a friend of my wife. She said I've got something black stuck in the middle of my tooth, and I need to go to the mikvah tonight.
Yeah.
So I went in and
What was it?
it was like a tiny, hard piece of seed or something.
Well,
But she
okay.
couldn't get it out herself. She tried to fix everything, it wouldn't come out. I don't know
Okay.
if she asked before.
I'll just tell you that subject is not so simple. I'll tell you why. A place that's supposed to be covered, if it's has something on it that because it's there it's not covered, that could be called a makam balua. In other words, a lady who would have a cavity and have something in the cavity, when is that something in the cavity called a chatzitza is not so clear. Okay, but generally speaking, we take it out. Okay.
In connection with sukkahs.
Sukkahs.
Yeah, no, I've heard
Talking about
different opinions about a lady wearing a ring when she makes bracha on the upper meaning.
We don't know.
Some say she has to take it off. Others
We
say
don't
it's
know.
okay, it's not
Did,
chatzitza.
we actually don't
It
know.
should be the same din, no?
It's related. Okay. Okay, so let's see the Mishnah Berurah over here. Okay. What's called rafuya, as we're saying later on. When they're kneading dough, they take off the rings. He doesn't have to take it off.
But if he did a malacha which was clay or something, he will take it off. Just because he's kneading doesn't mean he won't take it off.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. Men are not so, they're not. Yeah, they. Okay, okay. Rakim yeshvo even toiv shegam ish darka lahakbid lasir b'shas netila shelo yislach lech me'amayim oz yeshlach rasiro mishum chatzitza. And this is a very important halacha, and there's a bir halacha over here about how to be machmer on this. The minig is that we take off our rings. Okay.
The woman never took off her rings while kneading.
Okay. No, they say yes. Yes, that's what the Siddur Torah says, Batla
But she would still have to take
Right,
her rings off.
right.
Most people do.
Let's
Well,
say for
most
Tfilas
people.
Ezra, when a
Most
guy who
people.
takes his watch
I understand.
off,
I'm
when he
asking.
goes to
One
sleep,
woman says, "I don't want to take off my rings when I wash, so I'm going to leave my rings on when I knead."
technically, that's the...
Yeah, I would just say there are people, and this is actually, I have a Pri Megadim about this, and the Siddur Torah about this. There are men who wear their watches when they wear their tefillin. Okay? And there's a question about this in the Paiskim.
On the same or in the direct?
On the same arm. No, most men, they're finished their 7 wrappings, and then they have their watch, and they're not worried about it. The Paiskim will say that lechatchila you should take it off. But
In America, the minig was where they always told us to take it off. I've lost a lot of watches doing that.
So
I have lost many watches taking it off. Of my
I'm so sorry for you.
Okay.
Just a primitive.
Shir natilas yadayim kol hayad arakona shalazroya. How much of your hand do you have to wash? You have to wash until your wrist. V'yesh amram ad makom chibur etzbois l'kaf hayad. You only have to wash until your knuckles. Okay? V'roi linag kedas v'shayna. It's proper to conduct yourself like the first opinion. Now, this is not such a well-known halacha. Most people assume that you have to do like the first opinion.
for the second opinion when you do on Tisha B'Av, fasting.
Yeah, we don't eat on fast days.
What? No, it's in washing your hands.
Okay, that's different Netilas Yadayim.
Right.
Okay. Now the Bir Halacha has a very long piece over here to try to substantiate why the first opinion is the main opinion, but I'm just saying that the Shulchan Aruch says it's only Roinin or Kedar Rishayna, and it's not bottom line. It's a labor answer.
Average guy in the field know how to do Netilas Yadayim without getting the water coming just to Rosh Hashanah.
What?
It's as simple as just pouring 3 times to Rosh Hashanah.
Well, we'll learn the next siman. We'll discuss that a little bit. There's a bit of a problem with that aspect. If you did Tvilas Yadayim, you wouldn't have a problem. Or if you use the Revius, there are ways to take care of the problem. Okay. Ratzalayma atzab sisayad shumakam chibar yad rakana. Roy lenog ritzayna lamer the medina misha retzel hakol gedei shniya ein mochi biyada. A person wants to be like the second day and just do until your knuckles. Ein mochi biyada. Lev, how you translate that? Ein mochi biyada.
Don't protest.
Don't send out touch
Can we be funny?
You don't have to protest. That's it.
Okay. It means that there's enough to rely on that you don't have to get upset at the guy.
Maybe you're allowed to get upset, just don't express it.
You don't have to protest it.
Protest, yeah.
You're following right.
Okay. V'chol safek min atiyas adai in the kula, and he says atiyas adai the halachas the kula. Mikol makom lechatchil roi laachmer kedei rishayna v'chein nagim oilam. V'ayim b'sefer atzavagim mochil shar b'gedol rishayim serving kain that you have to be makbel like the first day. V'yesh lizor milahakol b'zeh v'ayim b'bir halacha that a person should be machmer. Okay.
Maybe that's the reason why we won't know that's only the Rosh Hashanah.
Okay. I'll just tell the Shulchan Aruch says a fascinating thing. A person should say that I'm not being makabel on myself to do like the first day, in case he finds himself in a place where he doesn't have enough water to wash, properly, that he could use, less of his hands.
Can we undo that by automatically assuming that we have to do that, or now that we know different, we should?
I have no idea. Okay.
That's a good question.
Okay. And it's not a good question. I said it.
There was a brush off. The Rav has
You've
an
been watching
idea.
a certain way for a number of years. You should have this in mind that you should be able to when it's second day in case you
Right. Okay. Now we're going to start the next siman, and I'm going to do what the Mishnah Berurah did. He gave Hakdama to the siman. We're going to read the Hakdama because this is a very complicated siman. Akdim Hakdama K'tzar K'fi Shemavur B'Tor V'Es Yosef. Okay. Tam Netilas Yadayim Mishum Sheyadayim Askonias Hey V'Lachen Gozer Aleim Tuma. We made your hands tamei. Imloi sheyitarem bervias maim, unless you made them tar with a revius of water. V'tzach litol shtei pavim al yodov. The shvicha rishonim etar yodov. The first time gets your hands clean, tar. Aval maim atzmum tameim hem shenitmu meyodov. But the water that you wash with, that water became tamei. V'shvicha shniya metares oisam v'nigmar tares hayadayim. By washing away the tamei water, you have taking care of the whole subject. We don't want the water to go out to here and then come back, because if it's going to do that, it'll be metama the yadayim again. So what do? You pick up your hands so that the water doesn't drip back down. Okay. וכן פירוש רוב המפרשים. ולפירושם אף נוטל כל היד עד מקום חיבור המקונה, גם כן צריך להגביה מחשש שיוצא חוץ יד ויחזירו. ויש חלקים מסוימים כשנוטל כל בסיס היד עד הקונה כמנהגנו, if you washed all of your hand, you don't have to be afraid that maybe the water is going to come back. The whole problem is only according to the second day of the last halacha. The chenu shir lahabe poiskim. Dos chashidu shem beis haratila nishpach mat mirakli lechutz lekishyatz v'oisov, and then it came back and it was metame. Okay, now we're going to see the halacha. Hanay totzach she'achbia yadav hainu rasha etz v'oisov l'maylo shelo yetzu hamayim chutz leperek v'yachzur v'yatamas yadayim, in order that the water shouldn't come back onto your hands and be metame them. V'uadin im yashpila mitchila atratila atzoifa l'shapidami. This, in my opinion, is a better idea. If you pour the water on your hands when your hands are facing down, then nothing is coming. Nothing doesn't go uphill. Water doesn't go uphill. Okay. You shouldn't do that process. Okay. Now let's see the Mishnah Berurah.
Don't you raise your hands up after you wash them? I thought you're supposed to raise them up when you make the bracha.
Well, that could be, but how is the water going back down onto your hands? You'll dry what you do is you raise your hands and then you dry them, right?
Yeah, well, you wash your hands and the water goes down, but when you raise the hands,
well, that's fine. Stop. You raise your hands, and now you take a towel and you dry them.
Right.
How did it come back down?
Then, but maybe you still, from the time you poured the water down on the hands, you raised them up, still a bit of water.
No. But when I went like this, the water is only going out. It's not coming back, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then you dry your hands, so then you've taken care. Then they take care of the problem. Okay, we're gonna stop over here.